Go.
Okay, so plant that can be used for medical and can be turned into a highly addictive drug. Can it be? How can a plant be useful and harmful at the same time? Its useful harm is can cause you cancer and other sorts of health impacts on your body. This plant can be turned into a powder which people sniff into their nose, and can be or in the form of a cigarette where people smoke to damage their lungs. All of you might know the term marijuana. It is Mexican Spanish name for cannabis. So the name marijuana was later on evolved into English. So now we see people using the term marijuana as if it's in weed. So before I start, I want to show you a statistics of 100 and plus people who smoked marijuana. So from 18 to 25 years old people smoke marijuana. The percentage is 45.1, and from 26 to 35 years old, 24.3 is the percentage of people who smoke marijuana, and from 35 to 49 years old, it's 21.7, and 50 or older are 8.8%. So now today I'll talk about 3 main points, which are the main description and symptoms of using cannabis, and last but not least, which is the side effect. So let's start off with the basic description. So the word marijuana or cannabis. So the word for when we use it in the term of drugs, marijuana and cannabis are the same. So when you say cannabis, everyone is going to immediately think that's marijuana or weed. But in terms of plant gender, we use cannabis because cannabis is the main source of the weed, and later on evolved to marijuana. So there are 3 types of cannabis. First of all, it's a cannabis sativa, which as you can see the picture above. Second of all, the cannabis indica, which you can see as also, and third one is the cannabis regrowers. So you can see that they're similar, but I don't know what's the difference between them. But the leaves are similar, but I think some of the types are short, that have short leaves, and other types has longer leaves. So the cannabis drug can be the two plants from the cannabis types can be turned into a drug, which are the cannabis sativa and the cannabis indica. These drugs can be processed into forms of powder, oil, and dried plant, and resin. Resin, for those of you who don't know the resin, which we use it to bring paper and put inside paper and warp it up in the form of a cigarette, then smoke it. So that's a resin. So on the signs of cannabis and the signs of using cannabis or marijuana is, first of all, it's tolerance and withdrawal. If you use just like any person who uses marijuana or cannabis, is might think of using it more and more times overall his life. So, and the second thing is thoughts. Thoughts is when you think of, for example, like I want to do it for the first time only. I'm not gonna do it again. I just want to try it as just for entertainment or something. So when you try it, you're gonna think of this is good. You might want to do it again and again and again and over until you get addicted. And the third and last is using cannabis is to handle your issues or your feelings. For example, like you're having relationship issues family issues. So people smoke marijuana to handle their emotions or their issues. So according to Wikipedia, in some states it's legal to smoke marijuana, and in other states they are not legal. I mean countries. So, for example, like the United States, they had Washington and Colorado. They made it legal to smoke marijuana, and in Colorado, I found that they opened a shop specifically for marijuana. But in East Asia and Central Asia, it's extremely forbidden and may cause you a lifetime stay in prison, or you might get executed. So now that we talked about the basic description, let's move on to its symptoms. The symptoms are one of the symptoms of there are too many symptoms of cannabis using. I just chose 6, which are the rapid love talking and laughing. So people tend to laugh a lot and talk a lot without them noticing, and other people noticing around them. Second of all is feeling sleepy. As you get older, you might have the feelings of getting sleepy every time you smoke marijuana as you get older. Third is lack of concentration. You don't concentrate what's in class. For example, a teacher is saying something, and you took a math class, and after 1 hour, if you smoke marijuana, of course, after 1 hour you're gonna forget everything that you took in class, or you're not gonna concentrate. The third is forgetfulness in conversation. For example, you're talking with your friend, you're having a normal conversation, and suddenly he might ask you, what did you say, again and again and again, because he's smoking marijuana and he's having a doubt and forgetting what people are saying. So, and the fifth effect is inflammation in your eyes. Your eyes tend to get red, as you noticed that with smoking. You know that. Also, any type of drug, you're gonna have inflammation in your eyes. And the third is you might be craving for sweets. So people who smoke marijuana tend to crave for sweets. They want to eat sweets. They want to. They somehow it doesn't kill their appetite. So they're gonna eat and eat and eat. So this is a symptom too for getting fat of marijuana. So now that I talked about the symptoms of marijuana, I'm gonna move on to its side effects. So side effects of marijuana, there are too many side effects of marijuana. As you can see, one of them is you might get in a car accident. For example, you were smoking marijuana, and after 3 hours, if you were driving after 3 hours of smoking marijuana, you're more likely to get in a car accident. And second is you're gonna get gum disease. Gum disease in your mouth. So third of all is the depression. Genetically predisposed people. What I mean by genetically predisposed people is that people who might tend to get in disorder or disorder quickly more than an average person. So people with genetically predisposed people might get depression issues every time they smoke marijuana. So, and they're gonna have a reduced brain function. For example, like for regular users of cannabis who are 15 years old and older, if they tend to use marijuana, they're not gonna have an infection as a people who smoke marijuana if they were 15 years old or less. And you can see all around America nowadays, people in the 8th grade, 9th grade, and the 10th grade smoke marijuana. They think of it as a cool thing to do, or an awesome thing to do, or they wanna make them feel as if they are grown-ups. So you're gonna have a sharp memory loss. As I said earlier in the symptoms, you're gonna forget what people usually say. As the example I said about the math, for example, you had a math class, and you're gonna tend to forget everything that you took. Second is testicular cancer. This is for men only. People might tend to get testicular cancer. So the long-term use of marijuana might, as if you're smoking marijuana a lot, you might get testicular cancer. So today we've covered 3 main points, which are the basic description, the symptoms, and the side effects. So we've known that marijuana is a Mexican Spanish name for cannabis, and marijuana was later on evolved to English. So, we've covered many symptoms involving loss of concentration and etc. So I hope none of you smoke marijuana, because marijuana might lead you or opens the gateway to another drugs. You might tend to use other drugs and other stronger drugs. And thank you.